That is page 18 on the summary.
5.3. Overpayment for printing and supply of assorted materials. There was an overpayment, and then the S13s and S11s were not provided for audit. Has that now been provided?
Yes, yeah, this has been provided.
Yeah, so the same frustration we had in the others. So you can adopt that. Which other one?
Page 22.
So, for example, 5.4 that comes after 5.4 in terms of recommendation, we must refer this to the county assembly for verification. These roads, road 1 all the way to road 11, culverts not installed, only 0.4 kilometer was gravelled, 1.6 was opened, graded but not gravelled. Even though, honourable members, I suspect this could form part of what you call ward-based projects in counties. So are the MCAs the right people to oversight this kind of shoddy work when it comes to road construction? That is a question we must ask ourselves.
Now, and even check, given that this was not tarmac, and this is 2023, do we still have the roads there now? Or they've been washed away, given that it rains every day in Kisii?
Teacher, that's actually the issue. And I think it's not just for Kisii, even for places like Kitui where it doesn't rain a lot. This issue of roads, we must find a way of dealing with oversight responsibilities for roads construction. Because, Chair, this is what happens. A tender is issued today for construction of a road. It is done. Tomorrow something happens, the road is damaged, or something happens to the road. Another tender is issued on the same road. But then when you want to do an audit or a review of what happened, you want to check on the first tender, but work has already been done twice on that road. It becomes very, very complicated. And in fact, that's why I want to appeal to the county assemblies. Some of these things could form the basis of their primary oversight roles. That these roads constructions, especially by county governments, if they could be looked into within a financial year or even in 6 months' time, that would make a lot more sense than having now to go to check a road in Kisii 2 years after the fact, and the road has been worked on twice on the same project. I thank you, Chair.
Actually, this is, Governor, this is what is causing us problems with the National Assembly on the road maintenance levy fund. You are aware that this Thursday, the Senate will be considering its version of the additional allocations bill. The National Assembly has already processed their version, which has excluded RMLF allocation to counties. Now, the Senate has insisted that RMLF should go to counties. They cite this kind of reports, and I'm sure that they refer to this when they're debating. Look at, for example, road number 3, Omatundura Riombaso Nyameroka Museni Road. The contract sum was 2.1 million. The length of the road was 1.5 kilometers. The work done was 1.5 kilometers. But the comment is, the road was opened, not graded or gravelled, and no installation of culverts, no signage for proper identification. Now, a member of National Assembly tells me that, you see, if we give governors money, all they do is to bring, what's that equipment that opens roads?
Dozer.
Inapita mara moja. Hakuna, there's no grading, there's no graveling, inapita mara moja, and then it is reported that the road has been done. This is a perfect evidence for the members of National Assembly to say that road maintenance levy fund should not go to county governments. And I know they could be wrong, in many other counties. In some counties I've seen where the governors are doing a splendid job. But this is not neat, Governor.
Chair, allow me, because you have read, that's the query from the auditor. But the response, Chair, there, this road even, it was, actually if you read, the road was terminated due to the contractor's failure to adhere to the contractual obligation. We are talking of a road whose contract was terminated.
Governor, yes, I've seen that. Now, my worry is, if you cannot procure, if you cannot do due diligence, if you cannot procure a 2 million road successfully, why do governors want 10 billion for RMLF? That's what the members of National Assembly are saying. A 2 million road? So when you terminate a 2 million road, what does that mean? You know, what did the procurement people do before arriving at that person to be the one to do the job?
Chair.
I am sharing with you very real, very live comments, and this is coming up on Thursday. And I know that the Council of Governors has promised that they're going to do a march to the Senate so that the Senate can stand with counties on the issue of RMLF. But someone else will plaque this page as evidence that counties are perhaps not capable of managing small things.
Chair.
Like 2 million roads.
Chair.
Let's hear from Senator Nyonka, then you may respond.
Governor, the question I think that is important is this. And normally if I want to know what we are dealing with, I go to what the auditor is saying. The auditor says this fellow was paid. Is that right?
Sure, we have provided the contract sum,
Yes.
but we have also pointed out in terms of the status.
Yes.
So here is about the value of 2.4 million,
Yes.
but there's some work which has already not been done.
Yeah.
No,
So
he's asking whether this...
the money was paid.
Sure, here we are concerned about the effectiveness of the projects. It's not, we didn't capture that part of the payment, what has already been done, but we are just bringing the picture of, this is the contract sum, this is the length of the road, but this is the status, and you can see some work has already been pending.
You are veering off from where I am asking you. Was this company paid? Because if they were not paid, then your query doesn't hold any water.
Yeah, because if you query it at this level, we don't know if the contractor is still going on. Maybe the contractor
You see where I'm confused.
to do the other part, that is
Help me.
installation of the culverts. They could still do it, put in the sign.
In other words, Chair, what the Senator is asking is a loss of money.
Thank you.
You see, Auditor, let me help you. In your query, the contracts were awarded in December 2023. They were to run for 24 weeks, isn't it? So by the time you're doing the audit, the contract duration had lapsed. The only thing you missed was just to indicate whether the payments were made. I think that would have been very useful information.
Yes.
But in whatever the case, if this is a report that is coming up in September, 30th of September, those contracts ought to have been concluded way back in which month? June? June. They were to run for 24 weeks. 24 weeks is 6 months. So they ought to have been concluded by June, ideally. By the time you're doing your audit, they ought to have been paid. So I wish we had that column on whether payment was made. So, Governor, when you say it's terminated,
Chair, there
does
is
it
no
mean-
payment. There is no payment was done to these contractors. And I'm happy that Senator Nyonka was asking about, was there any payment made?
So
There is no
it means
payment.
that the roads in Bonchari ward, Bonchari sub-county,
Yes.
the lot 2 roads,
even
basically
bus.
they were not done.
They were not done because of the reasons you have given there.
So, Chair,
no,
Chair,
they
then
were
in that case, then maybe the governor should tell us, because when you look at the responses, the management responses, it's actually a generic. It's just one.
Copy paste.
Copy paste from number 1 to number 10.
In terms of image, well, then what does this say about the department? That you have issued 10 roads, perhaps to 10 different contractors who have no capacity to even begin the works, and you have got to terminate the contracts.
Chair, this was a lot, and a lot had all constituents, the 4 wards. Therefore, there was one contractor who, by bad luck, died, and there was a lot of struggle within the company. Therefore, nothing could have continued, and hence that's how termination came in, because there was nothing was done. He had yes opened some of the roads as observed by the OAG, but we could not pay because that not met the threshold of procurement as they were. Again, if we'd have paid, you will be told you paid for unfinished works. Therefore, we did not pay any penny.
So it was one contractor for all the roads?
Yes, in the 4 wards, because it was an open tender. Chair.
Senator Maru.
Chair, can I? If I give the example that you gave of Onyagogo Obore Mesigi Road, according to the auditors, the road was opened, not graded or gravelled, no installation of culverts, no signage, no proper identification. But the auditors saw that the road was opened. Now, during the time of audit, Governor, why didn't you give this explanation that actually the road was terminated due to the contractor's failure to adhere to the contractual obligations? Because then, number one, this audit query would not have been escalated to this level. Number two, we would have known that there is no loss of money, that no payment was made. And then number three, how much do you think should be paid to these people? Because they opened the roads. Does it mean they'll be paid 0? Because some work was done.
Chair,
Governor.
This explanation given to OAG is either they accepted the explanation or they refused to accept the answers we gave them. But again, to answer to Senator Taita Tafeta, you can even do everything. If, again, even procedure was not followed, you may not be paid, as it were. For the part that which has been done, because the law is very clear, is either you finish your contractual obligation or you are not paid, as it were. Therefore, that's why we are saying the works were terminated, despite the fact that, yes, he had opened some of those roads.
I think someone talked of query about the image. You see, for me, we can have all these explanations, but I've told you where I have a problem at the global level. On Thursday, we are going to fight for 10 billion. These things you are doing is what was used, what the RMLF used to do in counties, because this is maintenance and maybe opening up of county roads. You are going to give us a very difficult time as senators, because the opponents of devolution will take this as a classic case. And the queries don't end there. The subsequent query also has almost 15 roads with irregularities. 15 roads with irregularities. And the question is value for money. And they're small contracts, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million, 2 million. Fairly simple things to do. Even if you are using, because some governors usually complain of the capacity of local contractors. Unless your procurement process is flawed, because sometimes some governors want to give these roads to supporters. So you find someone has been your boy over the years, and you can't employ him because you have overemployed, so you give him a road to do. He has never done a road in his life. He'll even come to ask you for the money to do the road. We have seen these things happening. And I suspect this is the case. Senator Onyoka.
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to raise the question with the OAG. Out of the number of contractors who've been given these roads, and there are about 15, did you verify to see how many of them were paid any funds, if any? Because if all of them were not paid, then there is something substantive. That is really where I'm going with this.
Honorable Chair can take that question. We verified the payment, but also when we are looking when we are doing our audit, we in addition include the effectiveness of how they are carrying out their business. And that is why you see such a case of this query coming, whereby we have picked a sample of the procurement contract that the county has engaged, and we go now to the ground to do physical verification, and we see, like the senator raised, the work has already started, so there is an expectation that a payment will come at the end, since the county is already in contract with the said road contractor. But now when you do the ground physical verification, it is not there. But to answer your question, yes, where contractors are being paid, we have been able to verify that. But again, we are also looking at the ground, what is there. Thank you.
Chair, I would just want to maybe an advisory to the governor, which is not solicited. You know, I sat in the mediation committee for the county government's additional allocations that terminated in December. And this fight for the 10 billion shillings that should come to counties is a real serious fight. And what members of the National Assembly are saying, and they are really standing very firm on it, is that even if you give governors this money, they have no capacity to even deal with this money. They will not be able to utilize this money. Road infrastructure has become a serious problem in the counties. If you give this money to the national government agencies, they are a lot more efficient because they have contractors on site who are proven they have been able to do this work for the longest time. And as the chair is saying, now this is serious fodder for them. When on Thursday this debate comes up, you will hear Kisii being, look at these 10 roads given to one contractor. They are unable to even begin works on the roads. So I think for this kind of things, Governor, through the chair, it's also very important for county governments to seriously do due diligence when they are giving contracts to these contractors. As the chair guided, even if you want to give work to people that we know, I'm very sure then in that network of the people that we know, there must be some competent people that can do these jobs. Because this is not a very good image, not just for Kisii, but even for the implementation of road projects by county governments across the 47 counties. Chair, thank you.
Thank you. Governor?
Chair, I want to agree with both of you of what you're saying, the image outside there. But there is nothing better than even how devolution is working. Yes, I don't want to say that every person is doing what we are doing. Especially the law requires that 30% you must give to the locals. And again, even in that open tender, because these were open tenders, people got it. Some of them, Sir Chairman, there are people who are used, and in quotes, who are used to not do work. Wait until there is end of the year, because there is, I think, the wiring of their information that at the end of the year, people must be paid. Money will go back. Therefore, people will process anything. And money doesn't go anywhere. Money is in the CRF account. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, what you are saying is that for us, I will invite, I'm happy that OAG is here. They will see the works which is ongoing now. When that due diligence was done, we gave people who are able to do it. And again, Chair, there is procurement laws which we can't break. If you wanted to help even those people, even if you wanted to help those ones who are with you, you may not give them a project of 20, 30 million, knowingly that these are young people who may not be having that capacity. You'll be able to give them for 1 million, 2 million for you to test them. But lots like this one, Chair, is an open tender where people openly compete.
Governor, maybe Chair.
Senator Muruma?
Yeah, upon the expiry of the extension period, the contracts were terminated. Maybe for the auditor, what is still subsisting here so that we can address this query? Yeah, there's delay in deliverables here. So what do we do to address this query? What is still subsisting?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Through the Chair. Of course, if the issue is incomplete projects and the management has responded in terms of termination because of the deliverables that has not been delivered by the contractors, then it means the next phase is just to retender it again so that the roads can be done. You know, if it is a service to Wanjiku, then it means the road has to be redone again.
Yeah, and I think on our part, if we succeed in fighting for RMLF to go to counties, we are going to insist on very strict accountability framework, because it's a Kenya Roads Board that was doing the accountability. In fact, it was a misnomer, because the Kenya Roads Board is audited at the National Assembly, and yet this money goes to counties. So we were having a fight on who should oversight the utilization of those funds. So since it's coming as a conditional grant, we must make sure that the conditions are clearly spelled out to avoid this kind of scenarios. The next query with 15 issues, with 15 roads, I can see from the written response that there was extension of time. And if there was extension of time, we'll ask the Auditor General to keep it in view, and you can capture it in the next cycle of review. Which other matter had been resolved so that we can look at it and adopt?
Chair, 5.5, page 22 is also addressed.
The regular procurement of cleaning services.
Yeah. Yeah, the main issue, the tender document was not availed at the time of the audit, but now it has already been provided.
And it has been provided to your satisfaction?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we go to page 28.
So the one for insurance services is unresolved. And that was probably, so it was quite a huge sum, 202 million. Okay.